Hello and welcome to Nick's Maths, Week 3, Term 3, Lesson 11. The inverse relationship of multiplication and division. Now, inverse means opposite or reverse, if you like. In mathematics, the inverse operation of addition is subtraction, and the inverse operation of subtraction is addition. Today we're looking at the inverse relationship of multiplication and division. So the inverse relationship of multiplication is division, and the inverse relationship of division is multiplication. The operations in mathematics, just to refresh our memory, are addition, subtraction, division, and multiplication. The signs that we use are called the operators. In this activity, the common theme will be decreasing and increasing the same set of numbers by changing the operator. Multiplication and addition increase numbers by size, and subtraction and division decrease numbers or make them smaller. So, our learning intention today, we are learning to consolidate our understanding of the inverse relationship of division and multiplication. And we know that we can do that when we can recognize and apply an inverse operation, when we can see that division is the opposite of multiplication, and when we can see that multiplication is the opposite to division. Some of the difficulties that we might come across. There might be an unfamiliarity with the division operator and how it can be represented in multiple ways. You might find some difficulties working with equations in horizontal or vertical representations. And you might find some similarities and differences between fractional understanding and division that, because we've done a fraction unit quite recently, that you might incorporate into these sums, and it might not be the correct methodology. So you will need for this activity a pencil, a rubber, a ruler, sheets of paper, and I always say texters just because colours are a nice way to define your understanding. So you could make the operators different colours, the multiplication and division operators. The maths language that you'll be using today, you might use an array, an arrangement of objects or numbers in columns or rows. Multiplicative connects multiplication and division. Inverse, the opposite or reverse of something. Division, splitting a quantity into smaller groups. Multiplication, the process or skill of multiplying that increases a number. A multiple, a number that can be divided exactly by another number. So, watch the video attached, and that'll give you some ideas about the inverse relationship of multiplication and division. Now, this activity is based around consolidating your understanding of the inverse nature of multiplication and division. Attached to this PowerPoint, there are examples of changing the operator from multiplication to division and vice versa. You can do this in your maths book, or you can do it with me when we do the lesson on Wednesday morning. So I'm going to give you an example of what we are going to do today. We are going to take three numbers. And here's an example of those three numbers. I have taken 3, 5, and 15. Now, we are going to make four equations out of those three numbers. And two of those equations are going to be multiplication, and two are going to be division. Now, you don't need to know your times tables, although it would be great if you did. You just need to know how to move the numbers around to make the equations. So here's my example. How many equations can you make? So 3, 5, and 15. And I want you to make 4. I've made 3 times 5 is 15, 5 times 3 is 15. 15 divided by 5 is 3, and 15 divided by 3 is 5. I made 4 different equations. One using multiplication, which made the product or the answer bigger, and one using division, which made the product or answer smaller. So here are the set of numbers. Make 4 equations using 2 multiplication and 2 division. And I'm going to put it beside you. That's upside down. I'm going to put an upload that you can download. But these are the numbers that I want you to try, and we can try them in class. So 2, 4, 8, 12, 6, 2, 35, 6, 45, 9, 5, 10, 5, 50, 2, 10, 20, 18, 6, 3, and 21, 3, 7. So can you make 2 multiplications and 2 divisions from these 3 sets of numbers? Now just remember, all you need are the numbers to make the equations. So, your reflection. Do you understand what inverse means? Can you explain it to me? What was the best way for you to understand this concept? You might have had a grasp of your times tables that helped you. Can you find your own sums? Do a few of your own and try and work out. Do a few of your own without the answer and then find the answer and then do the inverse operations of that equation. How do you know your way has worked? What are some of the difficulties that you faced? Once you've done this and attached at least 10 equations to a Word document, you can send it to me at Compass, or you can send annotated photos to my email, or you can write a response and upload that in a Word document, either to my email or to the Compass portal. Take care, have a fantastic day, and keep mathemating. Although I don't think mathemating is a word.